Hi. Good morning. Thanks everybody for coming again to another day of InstructureCon. Hope you all had fun last night. Actually got a little bit of sleep. The fire dancers were amazingly cool, as were all of the treats. So today we're going to start off. I'm going to show actually a little bit of a demo of one of the features that's going to be going live right now. And after I'm finished, then I will introduce Richard Culotta, who's going to be our keynote this morning. So don't feel bad if you're like eating food and stuff right now while I'm talking. I won't get my feelings hurt. But by the time Richard Culotta gets here, you should feel bad if you're not listening to what he has to say. So there you go. Can you guys see my screen all right on these? It says EduApps. It's a little bit squished, but we'll survive on the demo. It's a pseudo live demo. I learned a while ago you don't do live demos, especially in front of lots of people. So I'm going to switch between tabs, but you'll get the idea. So what I want to show you guys today is the Canvas App Center. If you're not familiar with this, we made an announcement about it actually a couple months ago, talking about how it would go live today. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This will be live for anybody that wants to turn it on. So any institution that is interested in using the Canvas App Center, it won't be on by default, but if you talk to your account manager, your ARM, they can actually just flip a switch and turn it on for you. And in the future, we're going to make it on by default, so you'll want to opt out of it. But I'll remind everybody about that again at the end. So a little bit of background about why we built the Canvas App Center before I show it to you. Integrations in the ed tech space have always been a little bit difficult. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think that there's an opportunity to improve the experience in educational technology by having seamless integrations between different websites. And there are a lot of them out there. There are a lot of great resources that we want to be able to work with Canvas and feel like they're a part of Canvas. And in the past, the only thing people have been able to do is drop a link. So you have your list of links, right, inside of your course, and you say, when you're ready to go do your lecture capture, click this link and go over here. And when you're ready to go look at these resources, here's the links over to this website. And that's okay, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And LTI, which if you haven't heard of anything about LTI yet at this conference, then I don't know, maybe you've been asleep, because it feels like every session I've gone to has mentioned LTI at least once, which is great. I love it. I love the idea of integrations. So LTI is a way to be able to have integrations and interplay between different websites and services. We've had a directory of LTI integrations, which is what you're seeing right here, edu-apps.org, for the past 6-ish months. So this is a collection of all of the apps that we know of, all of the integrations that work with LTI. You can see there's ratings and reviews that people have provided. Like I said, my screen's a little squished. Don't judge. And then you can actually take the information from this site and you can use it to configure these apps inside of Canvas. Let me show you what that looks like if you're not familiar with it. Inside of the administrative interface, either in a course admin or account admin interface, there's a tab called External Tools. This tab, this is what it looks like right now, and this tab allows you to be able to configure new tools. So when you want to set up an integration in Canvas, you'll click Add New Tool, and you get assaulted with configuration, right? So there's all these options, all these settings. It's a little bit intimidating. It's a lot bit intimidating. But this is kind of par for the course for how integrations have gone in the past. You have to know what you're doing beforehand. You have to set it up all yourself and just kind of cross your fingers that you got all of the incantations right in order to make it work. We want to make that better. We want to make that awesome. So the new default view when you have App Center installed inside of Canvas will look like this instead. What you will see is a directory listing of all of the apps, all of the LTI integrations that we know of that work inside of Canvas. So this is a discoverable list. You can scroll through it, anyone. You can hover on and get a more detailed explanation. You can actually search, so if you know what you're looking for, you can go ahead and type it in here and it'll show up. Let's see, I can type math and I'll get all the math-related sites that are available. Or if I know exactly what I want, if I want YouTube, then boom, there's all the YouTube resources that are available. So I can filter to see the things that are actually valuable, the things that I want to install in my course. When you click on any of them, I'm not going to do it live because, like I said, this is a pseudo-live demo. But when you click on any of them, you'll get a more detailed description of what exactly the integration does. You get some more notes around, what is the actual rating? What's the privacy level of the app? Does it actually send student information across, or does it keep that anonymous? What are the suggested grade levels for this app? And then you can also see the ratings and reviews that have been provided for this app by people who have been using it. So this is actually useful feedback, right? This is not just, I love it, but what typically happens is people will say, this thing, other than this one, which is me doing a demo, which is a horrible review. Don't ever do this. Give real reviews. It is good is not a good review. But providing meaningful feedback on what works and what doesn't work, what people wish they had, so that you can get an idea of what the app actually does. You can provide ratings and reviews right here in line. So these would be stars, but you can actually provide, you can give feedback right here, you can rate it, and then that'll get propagated, and anybody else anywhere inside of the system will be able to see those reviews and feedback and know how the app worked for you. To install an app, it's a lot easier than it used to be. We're talking about essentially one-click installation. So I'm going to click this button, and then boom, I can install the Khan Academy app right there inside of my course. Some apps will still have additional configuration options, and you'll see those show up there, but we get rid of as much as we can. The goal is to make this something that teachers could set up on their own, because I don't think that's been the case in the past for almost any integrations anywhere in ed tech, right? We want to make it possible for teachers to find and install their own integrations and not have to feel freaked out that they're going to go mess something up, or that they're going to ruin their lives by experimenting. It turns out experimentation is one of the most valuable ways to improve the learning experience, to try new things, see if it works, see if it fails, and continue to iterate. It's when we stop iterating and trying to improve that we stagnate, and nobody wants that. And teachers honestly don't really want that. It's just there's such a barrier to trying new things that they tend to avoid it because it's so much work and it's so hard. Defrost. So, once you have these apps installed, they'll show up in a bunch of different places. So, for example, Khan Academy, you can see the extension, it'll show up. It's an editor button extension and a resource selection extension, which means that it will show up as a button in the editor. You can see it right here, the learning registry. Again, I'd click it, but it will break things, so I'll show you a screenshot instead. When you click that, what would happen is you would then have this selection resource that would show up. The Learning Registry is a great repository of open resources that's actually it's supported by the Department of Education. They're trying to get a great federated search solution, which is really, really interesting. And Richard Kulat, our keynote, is going to talk about it a little bit more. But the idea is, again, this would be a one-click setup. A teacher wants to use the Learning Registry. They click a button, install it, boom, it's in their course, and they're ready to go. So that, in essence, is the App Center, right? It's all of these integrations that are available for anyone to use. One click wherever possible. There are ratings and reviews. You can search and filter, and then you can install these at the institution level, where they'll be propagated down to anyone inside of any of the courses, or at the course level, which will then apply obviously just to the course. And you can still get back to that traditional view if you just click View Install Tools. So we didn't restrict the ability for you to do crazy junk if you want to, but the default view will be much easier for people to understand and use. So I'm going to open it up for questions, even though I'm standing on a giant stage. Does anybody have any questions real quick before I continue? Shout them out, because I can't see hands. So the question was, how does this work with tools you have to pay for? Some integrations will still require configuration, and if you have an existing relationship with a vendor, they'll be able to provide you with the information you need. Typically, all you'll need is a key and secret, and you can ask for that as part of your partnership or your relationship. But that's all you will need to set up. You don't need all your configuration XMLs anymore. You don't your domains. All of that should be taken care of for you, and the vendor should provide you with just the very few configurations options that you actually need. Now that we have a couple more people here, I'm going to say what I said again at the beginning. So App Center, the Campus App Center, is live right now. This is running in production on my university. Anybody that wants it right now we can flip a switch and turn it on if you talk to your account manager. They all already know how. They've got a great doc that'll walk them through it. So you can chase them down right after this if you want and go get this turned on and try it out for yourselves. It is an opt-in piece of Canvas for now. So if you want it, you're going to have to approach your account managers. In the near future, we are going to change it to an opt-out piece inside of Canvas. So if you don't want the Canvas App Center, it's also a good idea to let your account manager know, and they'll make a note of that so that when we change to opt-out, you won't get automatically turned on unexpected for you. So one more thing I want to show you, but first, defrost. Sec. So the question was, is this available in open source? Yes. So there are two pieces to this. The Canvas App Center is actually pulling data from eduapps.org, which is a live service. It's an integration that we have inside of Canvas. Any other third-party service can actually leverage this as well. So I built a Chrome extension that lets you use the Canvas App Center. We wouldn't call it the Canvas. You use the App Center inside of Blackboard or inside of Moodle because these are LTI apps and they should work anywhere. And so one-click installation should be something that we can leverage anywhere. And hopefully this is something that will get leveraged by other players in the space because it's a great repository. It is the largest repository I know of LTI integrations that are interoperable. And so I want to make sure that other people can use that as well. So yes, it will be an open source. If you want to use it, if you want to provide ratings and reviews to the live site, you have to talk to me because we need a secure relationship between the two of us in order to make that happen. Otherwise, we'll get spammed like crazy on the ratings and reviews. Any other questions? Yeah. Two really good questions. How does this work with sub-accounts? And then how does this relate to LTI 2.0? Sub-accounts, this is something that's turned on at the institution level. So root accounts can turn this on and it will propagate everywhere down inside of the account. You can't opt in or opt out at the sub-account level, similar to like Big Blue Button and some of the other integrations that we have. The second question, LTI 2.0. LTI 2.0 will actually make the App Center even more usable because one of the things that it allows for is I said before, if you have a relationship with a vendor, you still need to get the key and secret and copy and paste that in. One of the things that LTI 2.0 will do for us is it will allow us to get a key and secret on your behalf from the vendor without you having to copy and paste it. Using a secure workflow. Basically what it'll look like is you'll click a button to say install, you'll go log in on their site, they'll say, is this really who you are? You want to set this up? Sort of similar to what you've seen with OAuth authorization before. And then they will send us the key and secret, so you won't have to manually configure those things anymore. So I'm excited for LTI 2 because it'll make things even more easy and approachable. Any other questions? Okay, so one more thing. So by the way, we've been piloting this App Center with 6 universities, including UW, UCF, Nevada State, Rockingham School District, and there's 2 more. I don't want to forget. Oh, University of Utah and Utah State University. So we've gotten a ton of great feedback. One of the questions that we have gotten a lot is, this is great. I love it. I love the idea of it. I'm a little bit nervous about having a wide open app store for all of my teachers. If that's the case and you're not quite comfortable with that, by the way, you probably should try to get there eventually because this is kind of where the internet is heading in general. But if we need to work our way over there, that's okay. One of the features that we are going to have is the option for institutions to provide a whitelist of applications. So part of the EduApp site, if you log into this site with your Twitter account and then you click on your name in Twitter, and we'll put together some guides around this, then what you can do is you can actually go through and whitelist the apps that you want to show up for teachers and administrators inside of your account. So you can say, when new apps are added, I want to go ahead and accept those. You can say, I only want apps that are at the anonymous level to protect student identity and privacy, or you can manually select the apps that you want to be installed, to be installable. And then when you click Save, you'll get this code, which you provide to your account manager, and they'll be able to set up a whitelisted version of the Canvas App Center for you. So now there's no complaints. You can't say, oh, it's scary and everything, because you can control the number of apps that are there if you want. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. Any other questions? Well, that's the Canvas App Center. If you talk to your account manager, as of today, they can set this up for you. You can start messing with it today if you want. You can set it up in your beta environment if you're a little nervous to just suddenly turn it on for your entire institution. And you can get to know the Canvas App Center. We're always open for feedback. This will continue to improve and develop over time. But the most important thing, and the reason that we're putting it out as quickly as possible, is the most important thing is those ratings and reviews. As you use integrations that leverage LTI, it's important that you provide feedback on what's working and what's not working, because that lets our vendors improve their LTI experience. There are a number of apps that I wish were a little cleaner and a little more elegant that use LTI, and they need that feedback from you. And we need it as well, honestly, so that we can share it and we can start to push people in the right direction. So it is the community of all of us that will help make these app integrations and this app ecosystem what it needs to be. So thank you all, and happy app centering.